All right, all right. Good morning. Man, do I have a fun stream for you today? I'm going to be fighting with the database a little bit more, but I think I was making some progress after, well, I don't think I was in streaming yesterday. I was doing some stuff on my computer locally, but where am I now? So I started recreating this app that I've been working on that's just a sort of simple task um, manager of sorts. I had this funny idea to create an app called Forgot to Do, where basically you can add your tasks each day, but if you forget it, or if you don't complete a task each day, it still shows you the task, but you can't go back and complete them. But really, the test is I'm trying to figure out how to work around getting Lovable to connect to my own local database and to start moving my coding off of Lovable into my own dev environment. So I have a couple things up and running. I have this right here is I've checked out the code from Lovable, and I've been working on it in a different Chrome tab, which I'll just close all this stuff out of my other windows. And then let me just organize my screens and everything here. And so the goal of what I'm trying to do, because I'm just cheap and lazy, is that I don't want to have to keep creating a new Superbase database every time. And I wasn't able to really get Superbase to work on my own dev environment. So long story short, what we're going to do is I'm going to come here. Let's go to, wait, this is the wrong one. Was this the workspace? Here we go. So this is daily Zen launch, whichever the hell it called it. I'm just going to open up the preview, and this is the app running, but there's still a bunch of bugs and stuff that I'm trying to fix. The biggest one right now is that what I'm trying to get this to do is when the app sort of loads up, there's going to be a setup page, very similar to how MySQL works. And when you go to the setup page, it'll give you the status of the database and all that other stuff. And then from there, it will try to rebuild the database and make sure that everything is working. But it's broken right now because I've been messing around with it. So let me organize myself here, and let's go back to this, and I'm going to look at these things that I've been working on. I also had this other thing that I've been working on at the same time with oh, that's interesting. It didn't save my chat from my other sessions. Where's my history? Direct this client info. Whatever. We'll just create a new chat. It's not a big deal. And so in my own version of, oh my God, what is this? This is a code server, which is VS Code that runs in the browser. I installed this continue plugin, and I'm using a DeepSeek Coder 33B instruct that's running off of my a 3090 right now. And I've sort of been switching between this and ChatGPT to get what I'm doing. So let me go back to ChatGPT real quick, which was the last place I was working on this. And I just need to find this this thing here so that I can go back and edit. I don't know what I was doing because I was using Chrome before, so now I've switched over to Arch, right? What is it called? Is it Arc for when I'm doing my normal streaming? So okay, so it wanted me to add. Let's add this permission back to. I'm just going to close this out. I don't need this. I don't need this. I've already logged in. This is the actual preview. So let's put this here, here, here. The code editor, we'll have it live up here. Oh wait, did I just lose all my stuff? No, okay, it's back here. All right, so I needed to, whoops. Wait, did this delete everything? Let's just paste this here. I don't know why it added all these different lines. So a big part of why I'm vibe coding this stuff is I really just don't know the database stuff very well. So I'm trying to get this to a place where I can have a reusable template that whenever I want to create a new project, I could just have Lovable sort of work with that code base and then build off of there. But I'm a bit away from that right now. So if I come here and I take a look, and I'm just going to open up the console here just so whoops, I don't want that. I want the console. Let's close this out. So now it's telling me that it has the database, but the permissions are missing, which I know. And the actual page is sort of running. So let's go back here and let's see why I'm getting this error now. I don't know, why does it say, hold on, something, ChatGPT is not, I'm getting this error. Let's see what it has to say about this. So I think it's just not passing in this stuff correctly, but that is speculation and not reality. All right, so use this instead. Oh, why did this go to my... Wait. What the hell is playing my music? I think my music went to my phone? That shouldn't happen. All right, you stop for a second. Oh my God. It's like everything is connected, but it also like steals the audio from everything. Connect to a device, this computer. All right, fine. Now I fixed that. I have to, I was messing around a little bit before, but I think I'm going to create a new Spotify account that just does some like royalty-free music in the background because, yeah, like it's weird talking to myself for a couple hours a morning. All right, let's do this. Let's replace role ID here with the actual user role ID. How would I know that? Call this, then use, wait. Is this, wait. Are you creating race condition where it will fail because it needs to create the role before validating it? Yes, if you're calling verify permission before the role is created, it fails. Run after set permission setup. Set up permissions. Where do I have set up permissions? In here? Yes, right after set up permissions is all done, call verify permissions with the role ID it just created or fetched. You can even move the verification inside the set permissions as a final step. Hold on. Let's take a step back. Remind me what we are trying to do. So it's amazing. Like I took a quick break just to get everything set up, and I've now lost all complete context. All right. So what I want to do, you're building a set of flow for authenticate with the directus. Check if the default user exists. Set up a database schema, collections of fields. Create the roles. Applies permission for those roles on the collections. Verifies that the permissions were applied. You're now improving the permission step to ensure that, okay. All right, so where do we continue from? Let's even get a little bit more real estate here. Update the database service to add the new method for verify permissions within the right arguments. So the database services is here. All right. So modify this. All right, so yes, add this helper method below your current ones. Verify user permissions. Set up database, verify permissions, verify user permissions. Next. Let's see what it has to say for us to do next. In your setup, add this after the check schema. Wait, all right, you tell me where to do this. I'm tired of thinking through all this stuff. Where? Show me the modified, whoops, modified full code. Update the check schema function to look like this. Handle check schema. Let's go to the check schema. What? Wait. Check schema, handle check schema, check schema. All right, here we go. Like this. Yes, that's correct. You've updated the check schema to use the verify permissions and assign the results. You're good to continue. Now what? Next, make sure that the verify permissions exist in the database service and correctly calls. So let's go to the database service. Is this good? I am not a fan of doing database stuff. Yeah, that's good. You're exposing verify check. You're ready to test. All right, so let's go here. Let's clear all this stuff and let's refresh this page. And now I'm still getting into this problem here, and this is what I don't understand. I want to fix this once and for all. All right. I went to the setup, and it's telling me the permissions are all set up, but I am seeing all these errors still in the console. I want to fix this and stop going around in circles. Let's focus on cleaning up this setup page to make sure it runs through everything correctly. It should have the, okay, let's see what it has to say about this, and then we'll figure out how to direct it a little bit better. You're getting farther because your auth token likely lacks permissions to query the permissions endpoint. Let's fix that step by step. Add a temporary console log before the permissions check to confirm the token is valid and the headers are being sent. Ooh, where do I do? Can you give me file names for these and all changes. Like, you're telling me is to add stuff, and I have like no clue what I'm adding or where. Yeah, in the permission services, verify permissions method. Verify services. Database setup, UI, lib, database. Was it permission services it said? In the permission services under verify permissions, verify permissions, and it wants me to add this before any fetch. What's a fetch? Geez, it's so obtuse. Show me. Like if I knew where this stuff would go, I wouldn't be using you to help me code. Here's the change in the verify permission. Update this part. Verify permission. I love when I tell it to give me the full code. It just is like, nah, I don't give a shit. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're sneezing like that. I did not have a way to mute. I need to go get one of those, like, I keep like delaying it. I need to get one of the Streambox things so I can actually like control the volume and see what's going on. Because right now I can't get to the mute fast enough. All right, so let's see here. All right, thanks for this stupid comment. Got that. Like this. Now what? All right. So what I'm hoping in the next hour is that we can get this to where, like the problem, what I'm trying to solve is that I need to get it to where it can set up this whole database, all the schema, do everything through this one setup page. And then once I figure out how that all works and I can confirm it, I can then abstract it out and then use it for future projects. So that's correct. Now run the setup flow and check the console output for the token. So we're going to go here. We're going to clear this out. We're going to refresh this. And let's see what we get. Copy, and we'll paste this back into here. Actually, I want to see if I can just do... Your token is valid, but you're getting 403 forbiddens for all permission checks. That means that the token is authenticated but not authorized to access permissions. Next step, check if the token role user has read access to permission collections. If not, give it in the directives admin panel. So I want to do settings, roles, users, add permissions to the permission. Wait, can this not be done as part of the setup page? I want this to all be self-contained. No, basically, only admin roles can manage permissions. The setup script runs as a user role, which lacks... Wait. That doesn't make sense. It should have the database user/password, and Directus shares that as well. And I know you're full of shit because when I go here and I look in the database, Jesse Freeman at weekendcodeproject.com. I don't want to save that. It should be authenticated with this password. Let's see why it's confused here. Yeah, if you're logging as the admin, administrator badge confirmed, then the token you're using should have permission. The 403 likely means that the token during verify isn't the admin one. Want to log the current user and role? Yes. Add this right before the const collect of collections in the verify permissions. Collection of collections. Wait, it said to put this, add this right before. All right, and now let's go to here. Let's clear this and rerun it. And see what it has to say for itself. The issue is the token is admin, but you're checking permissions using the user role. Directives blocks role fix. Replace your loop's role ID with the admin's token user and remove. Want me to show you exactly how to change this? Hi, Tickdown. You watching on YouTube, I see. Good morning, or afternoon, or wherever you are. Yes. How should I do this? All right. Change this to this. Filter constant. Is this in the same? All right. It is here. Let's change it to this. And rerun it. Clear and refresh. All right. That fixed all those stupid errors that I've been arguing with it for a while now. All right. So some permissions cannot be verified. Okay. So the errors went away. Now, how can I confirm that when the setup runs, it's executing everything as the admin? Log the current user information for users me during the setup. If admin X is true, it's admin. Add the check right after auth. Yeah, but that's not being very permission services database setup. What about this logic? Can you specific tell me where I need to look to make these changes? Add this right before const auth success. Wait, what? Right after this. Current user, get current user. Why? Wait. I am so not following what you are asking me to do. Can you be more explicit? Not following. How do I modify this? Oh my God, where did my music go again? This is so annoying. I have this like weird issue where my computer's Bluetooth just really loves to crap out. It says my headphones are connected. Ugh, whatever. I don't care. I'll just sit here in silence and suffer with my art. All right. Add this inside the initDB after await. Then in database service. All right, initDB service. initDB service. I don't think this is correct at all. Then in database service, add get current user database service. Okay, I see what it's trying to do now. Database service, and we'll just put this after here, which will return us this. And now, now I get this error. And what I wanted to double check is that back in setup, service also gives me this error. So let's go back to ChatGPT. I want to correct. Here, you stop. You don't know what you're doing. Let's modify this and this. Now let's see if we could just at least address both of these errors at the same time, instead of me having to hunt this down in piecemeal. In the intro, I'm going to restart my headphones to see if this will reconnect. Add a client to your database service like this. This is database service. Let's scroll up to the top and cannot find module or its corresponding declarations. Wait, what are you doing? Because this doesn't feel right. You're likely using the REST API, not the SDK. Ignore directives in the client. To fix your remove any client references unless you've added. Holy shit! Why are you? To check if everything. Okay, all right. Take a step back. You know I am using the APIs and not the SDK. So what are you making me do, and how can I do this correctly? I hate when it like loses its context. I think I'm at the point where I have to like start a new chat, because then it just starts like, I've been working on it for like an hour or so, and it sort of gets kind of confused after a while. Database service, add this method. So let's go to database service. Let's add this. I've added this, so let's just fix this because it gave me the wrong code. And yeah, wait, and then let me tell it that now this request I'm getting this error. Are we going to fix it next? Let's see if we can get it to fix this parameter or this property that's issued. Yep. The next step is to add a request method to your database service. Okay. So now going back into here, let's go to our database service and we'll add this. And then I get these two errors. All right. Now I'm getting, and what was the other one? The other one was the token. Add these two lines to the top of your database service class. Fine. Let me get my music going again. Oh, sorry, this needs to be in the class definition. Where's my Bluetooth? Bear with me for a second while I try to figure out my, wait, it's not connected because my headphones are off. Okay. So I think I fixed all this code now. And whoops, not there yet. What about this class? I'm getting an error in. All right, good. At least I fixed my music. All right, move this line. Current user await below this line. Services, new database service. Let's see here, current user. All right, whoops, I didn't mean to cut that. I meant to copy it like this. Yep, that's correct now. Service is defined before you use it. Let me know what comes next, if any. Should I test, or do we need to add more code? Test now. If it fails, we'll fix what comes next. Okay. That sounds ominous. Let's refresh this. And this is our first error. All right. You call get before creating database service and move the call after database services. What call am I looking for here? Get current users before database service instance. Move the call after set database service. Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, give me the full modified code. All right, show me what I need to fix here. Okay, here's the corrected version of your class with this config and this token properly assigned. So part of like, I was having Lovable sort of try to create all this stuff, but Lovable is getting like really, really confused. And the other part of why I'm trying to do this is that I want to understand, I don't want to just like blindly keep having ChatGPT or whatever LLM tell me how to code. I want to get a sense of like how this stuff actually works. So once I get like a prototype of this is barely working, I'm going to go back through, comment out the code, and sort of learn how this works a little bit better. All right, so let's do this. We'll refresh this page, and now we get these errors, and let's feed it back into ChatGPT. Now I get these errors. And let's see what it has to say about this. You're calling get current user before authentication happens, so the token is a fix move. Didn't you tell me to? Then why didn't you give me the right code? You're so stupid. Or did I not paste it correctly? Move get current user after authentication. Wait. Hold on a second. What are you doing? What are you doing? I asked you to show me the full modified code. Is this still wrong? And if so, show me the full code with the fix. You can tell as I get annoyed with it, I like to stop caring about my spelling altogether. Yes, that works. You only need to move the get current after authentication. Show me. All right. That's it. Just move get current to authentication. Okay, but you keep telling me this as if I know what the hell I'm doing here. Yeah, like there's no, oh God, it's so annoying. Here's a fix to part of your setup. Oh, so you keep telling me not, fine, hold on a second. You didn't tell me it was in setup. Now show me the full code with fix. Yeah, my hope is that once I get all this database stuff worked out, then I'll be able to start actually building some cool stuff. Right now, it's just been weeks upon weeks of just foundational building, which I guess goes with any app. But I've been trying to build out these sort of frameworks for speeding up my development and also leveraging the sort of vibe coding tools. But I want to, I don't know, I finally got to where my Terraform templates are working like 98% of the way I want them to. This is just now the how do I circumvent not using Superbase and just using my own database. My goal is to use the vibe coding stuff to get as much of it built, but then move it onto my own dev server and my own dev environment so that I can continue working on it. Because right now, if I was going to do this with Lovable, I'd just be like burning through credits, and I'd get almost no progress, which is sort of the problem at right now. So let's restart this now. All right, some permissions may need to be set up manually. Copy. Okay, errors are gone, but I am seeing, is this an old warning or something I need to look into? I have a feeling this is a legacy warning. That's a real warning for your code, most likely from the permission services during the verify. It means that at least one permission check failed. Rewrite quote, you should check the user role if the user is full CRUD. Okay, so permission services. Okay. You help me update this so it reflects the actual error, or remove it and let's add this as a check in the setup. Let me go here and take a quick picture of this for it. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of permission stuff that I have no idea how to do, and I keep switching different databases, so then I don't really sit down and learn it. But I think this, now that I got this MySQL or MariaDB or whatever it's called and Directus up and running, this is sort of the approach that I'm going to be going for. All right, so let's update the verify permission to return the list. In permission services change, and let's see here, return. All right. Also change this function signature to, where is that function signature? All right. We'll change this to, wait, what does this function look like? Promise, right, okay. Like this, I think. Something's wrong here. Update the database service, verify user permission. Verify user permission. To this. And wait, there's some issues here. Step 3, update the setup to store and display the missing parameters. Setup. All right, I'm just going to go run through all of its code, and then I'll just. Wait, it wants me to add, what is this? This is a constant, so let's put this at the top here where the other constants are. And update check schema. From this, and we're going to update it to this verified, wait, update check schema. Verified missing, schema results, set missing. Wait, we'll just remove the duplicates here. Verify, so we get rid of this. All right, that works. And well, I mean, this gets rid of the error. Then update the UI section below permission status. Oops. Connection status, permission status, div. So we'll add this other div here. Wait, where does it want me to add this? This can't work. I'm gonna have to feed it back all these files to make sure that it actually worked correctly. Ready to implement the first change. Oh, I've been implementing all the changes. All right, so let's do this. Clear. I have a thing called print, or what is it called? Yeah, it's called print. Wait, print files.sh. I want. Where is setup? Reveal in File Explorer. Let's copy this path. Reveal in File Explorer. Copy this path. And then let's reveal in File Explorer, and we're going to copy this path. Basically what this is I have a script that's going to go through and it's going to output all of these. Whoa, what the? Why did that shell script not run? Print. Oh wait, is my keyboard layers messing up? No. Oh, I see why. I'm so stupid. I'm in the, I'm SSH'd into my server. I don't need that. All right. Whoops, I should have print files. We have this page for permission services. We need to show an Explorer, copy this path, and then the setup. Let's copy this path. So this shell script is going to generate out a file called print output. And basically I could take all this now and I could feed this back into ChatGPT and just say, hey, all right, can you review these files and show me what needs to be fixed and where. All right, so now I just basically gave it like, here are all three files, so it has the context of what I'm asking it to do, and now it's going to give me its stuff. So what's broken or needs fixing? So the verify permission type mismatched in database services. So let's go to database services. We're going to find the verify permissions. Where's this async verify permissions, and why does it think that this? Okay, here we go. All right, so I did notice that error, so fix it to match the correct return types. All right, now what I wanted to do, now what I needed to do is tell me, so then the verify permissions returns false, which is the wrong type. Verify permissions in the permission services. So in the permission services, we need to replace this token false with this. I think it wants it to be here, right? But I'm still getting this token. Wait. No. It was here. It needs this to be corrected. And then the other place it wanted me to correct it was optimal performance. Clean up duplicate assignments in the check schema. All right, and then the other part, what I noticed was when I was in this database services, or was it the permission services? All right. I'm getting an error in the permission services. How can I fix this? Come on, you can do it. Right, okay. You just have to pass in the permission set, return the permission set and all that other stuff. So, okay. All right, so let's see if this actually works. I'm going to clear this. We're going to reset this now. And we're not getting any errors, but it's telling us that, all right, all this stuff is correct. Let me just see if, I'll give it a screenshot, see if this looks right. Does this look right to you? Can we remove the toasts and you, since the errors should be reflected in the setup page UI. All right, let's see what it has to say about these toasts. Yes, the UI now clearly shows each missing permission correctly. To remove them, delete or comment out this block. Yeah, I don't know. Lovable is like super. It really loves to. I'm going to delete this. I don't really need this. It loves to put like toasts everywhere, and it just creates a whole bunch. Excuse me, creates a whole bunch of clutter. All right. So now, let me just ask. Okay. So now I should be able to run the setup and see if it fixes everything. All right, let's clear this. Let's refresh this page. It's going to go through, verify everything. We're going to do setup database. And it just threw out a whole bunch of errors. And if we refresh, it didn't fix anything. All right. I ran the setup DB and it didn't fix the permissions. These are the errors I'm seeing. Your authenticated user does not have permissions to read or create permissions via the permissions endpoint. This means that the token you're using does not have the token access true. Your auth service is likely authenticated as a non-root. Bad requests. Fixes. Make sure your Directus admin account has admin true. Log into Directus users, your admin, check admin access. Go to Directus admin users, your admin, check admin access. I don't see that anywhere. Maybe it's like a specific user, administrator. Or is it? light themes. I don't care about all these themes and all this shit. Provider. Direct this admin. Users, your admin. Oh, interesting. I can't select this page. I don't see an option to enable admin access, but shouldn't that have already been set up? I wonder why this is. I know I'm trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Yes, your setup should have granted admin access to the account you're using, but it likely didn't, or you're using the wrong user to make those permissions. Check the direct this admin. Go open the user's authentication. Open the user you're authenticating as. Jesse, confirm this user is assigned to admin role, right? If not, edit the role and enable admin access, or assign the user to a role. But it is user, public, administrator. It says that I have unrestricted my account. The admin says unrestricted access to the DB. So what is the issue? The issue isn't with the administrator tool. It looks fine. The problem is likely that your setup permissions method is trying to assign or modify permissions for the user role, but your authenticated user is still using it. To fix one of these options, fast fix, update your setup logic to skip permission setup of the authenticated user. Prefer the real automation. Temporary authenticate as a user with create a temporary setup role. Hold on. This setup page needs to create everything the app needs for the database. So I am not following your comment about switching roles. My understanding is that this should log in. This should use the admin credentials without being logged in to set everything up correctly. Then I should just be able to add new accounts and use the app with their respective roles. Do you understand? Again, this should work like WordPress setup. I run this once, it creates everything or fixes what's wrong, and then I don't use this page again. All right, let's see if I'm a little bit more explicit with with ChatGPT. Got it. You want your setup page to work once using the admin credentials you provide in the default config and have it fully set up this game. Just like WordPress, run it once, then never touch it again. Understood. Your current problem is you're authenticating with an admin user, but the admin can't create or update role permissions via the API unless that role is admin access equals true. How to fix this? Mark user role with admin access true in your script. In setup permissions, when creating the user role, change this. In both places. No, only in one place. Create user res. Wait. Create user. Just updates in your setup permissions. What's this method? Setup permissions, fine. But what I'm telling you is that it's in two places. It's in two places. Yeah. It is frustrating how quickly it loses context, everything. Yep, you're right. Twice, but you only need to update one of them. Leave this one alone for public role, for user true. Fine. So this is user role set to true. This one is public role. Okay. Now what I want to understand is now anything else I need to do? Just rerun your setup after making the change. That should let the user role create / update permissions whether for there. Nothing else is needed unless the DB schema also fails. All right, so let's clear this out. Let's refresh this page. We get our sessions. Everything is fine. We're going to clear that. We're going to set up the database, and we're back to the same problem as before. Looks like I'm still getting the same issue. How do I ban this? All right. So now you're still using a token tied to the user role. Admin access true, but not the actual admin account. Switch this in setup permission to use the actual admin account. Yes. Yes. Just why are we just going around in circles? Yes. Update the auth service authenticated. Use the admin email plus password directly. Don't use the login logic. Use post. Tell me how. I don't understand this. Come on, think for me. This is why we're doing this together. Got it. Replace your current auth service authentication logic with a direct fetch call like this. Wait. Wait. I don't want to hard code this. Is the email and password not available from the config? No, DirectX does not expose the admin via config or API for security. You'll need to pass them in explicitly or via let me just make sure that there's got to be a way that, let me go to this template real quick and let me feed it the context of this Terraform template. Is this being done in my, oh wait, it should be, wait, let me think about what the hell's going on here. Because there's two templates, right? There's source code. There's the other template is my Lovable app via source code. And what I don't remember is if I pass in the database data, I have a feeling here is the template for my workspace. Am I passing in the admin or the DB username and password? All right, let's see what we're doing here. You're not passing in the directives DB username and password as environmental variables right now. Add something like this under, oh my God, why is this not closing? Add something like this on a Docker workspace. Wait, but I don't have the, wait, no. You're screwing this up. This is not correct. Hold on, where's my editor? In here somewhere in these configs, there's got to be something that's hard-coded. In this file, I have the values. I don't think that ChatGPT just has the full context of where all this stuff is. Yes, your email has already in the default values, so you can access them like this. Let me know where you want to use them. You tell me. So use them in the auth service. Right, so how should I remember? I only want this hard-coded for the setup and not for all users. Yeah, I don't like what it's trying to do here. I think it's going to try to set the authentication service to add an option that will use default flag to authenticate to inject the hard-coded admin settings only if it's set. No. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it. Oh, let me close this out. It should be part of the. This needs to be isolated to setup process. And password exclusive to the database service and the database service. No change needed in setup. Just modify the database service to call. Wait. But you're not listening to what I'm saying. No. No, this is not what I want. Can't we bypass the auth service and just establish a direct connection in the setup page logic? Yes, you can bypass the auth service and set up to do this. Just replace the database service with your own direct fetch logic in the setup. Use default config and fetch. Use the token for setup task, create roles. Totally skips. Okay. I want you to tell me what to modify. And in which class. So this is the problem that I'm starting to see, really, is that when I look here, this database service is using the authentication stuff, but the setup needs to bypass this because the setup should be completely isolated. In fact, it has, wait, hold on a second. What is going on here? Add this function to right. I just want to clarify that the fetch admin token has. I just want to clarify that the fetch admin that the setup page has the hard-coded user and password. Right? And that's what we'll be using, right? Yes, the setup page will use the hard-coded admin email and password in the default config to fetch the token directly without going through the auth service. Fine. Okay. So now show me the full modified code for this. No. I don't want to answer in chat instead. I don't want to deal with this stupid canvas. Here's the modified setup with the authenticated isolated inside the page using hard-coded admin credentials directly. Unchanged import. God, it really doesn't understand when I tell it, give me the full code. It just doesn't want to follow. Pass the token directly into the service. Database, default config, token. I imagine we're going to have to modify the database service. But that's fine. We'll get to that next. All right. Once I get this going, I'm going to set up a new chat because it's starting to lose its mojo here. Wow, it's going really slow. I think my 4090 is running faster than this thing. What is going on? All right, so let's go here. Let's go back to setup. And now it's going to give me a whole bunch of different errors because, oh wait, hold on a second. It said save the previous imports, so is that what needs to happen? All right. So, all right, now, yes, show me the full modified code. All right, so I had a theory that was the problem. When I told Lovable to sort of create this setup page, I think what it was doing is it was trying to combine the app's own authentication into setting up the database, but it can't do that because I'm not authenticated, because when I set up the program for the first time and the database is empty, there's no users or anything. Although there is a default user that gets added, but it's a whole different story. So here's the modify data services with auth service, remove the tokens and pass directly with auth service removed and token passed directly from the setup page. Okay, before I do this, is this going to break the app's regular login auth logic? I am looking for a way to simply override the auth with the admin creds for setup, but everything else should use the DB's normal users. So I mean, this is part of the problem with the vibe coding stuff. I mean, I actually know what I'm doing, more or less. I mean, I don't understand all this nitty-gritty stuff with the database, but I understand the application flow, the authentication, login. My big concern is when people just do the vibe coding, they don't have any clue what the hell they're doing. It just sends them down like a bad path. All right, so this will not break the app's regular login. What is it going to do? It's going to use the admin token directly inject. So yes, as long as the token inject database service is only created and used in the setup flow like you're doing, everything else will continue like your normal user flow. Perfect. All right, so let's copy this out and let's paste this in. And now let's see, because I have a feeling it's telling me what I want to hear, but it's not, it didn't really do what I wanted to do. That means you're passing into a class expecting an auth service instance. In your data service constructor, inside setup, only replace with auth service. This ensures that the config token exists before that point. Wait. You are breaking the normal login flow. You're right. Forcing a fake auth breaks the contract and risks affecting login elsewhere. Better. Keep using the real authentic, but pass in admin creds only in the setup page. Do not change the database service. Just do this instead. Setup. Wait. You are confusing me. Here are the two classes. Now walk me through how to actually get this working, where setup will handle its own authentication with the hard-coded values, and the rest of the application's authentication is not broken. All right, and then since we're asking you to do this, let's go back into here and we're gonna clear this, and I'm just gonna go try to find, we need setup and we need database services. We don't need the permission services anymore. So let's just update this. If you're just tuning in, I wrote a script that will go through and I can pass it in whatever files I want or directories, and it'll output this print output temp.txt. and I can use this to give ChatGPT a little bit more context. I have a feeling I need to be reverting back some of that authentication stuff it forced me into doing, but we're going to give it the, we'll see if it actually figures out what it's doing wrong. Oh my God, I feel like this is like just another day I'm going to lose to just database stuff. Although I think I'm getting a lot closer. I think the biggest issue really was this authentication stuff. So you're all set. The setup page now does its own authentication with hard-coded admin credentials, and it doesn't affect the app's normal flow at all. You're completely and utterly full of shit. I just hope you know that. Because now when I go to the database, then why am I getting errors here with the oh God, it's so annoying. Something is not corrected or connected correctly. Easier because the schema service and the permission services are expecting an instance of auth service, but you're passing in a plain object. With the fixes without affecting the normal login flow, create a minimal inline auth service mock class just for the setup. Update database to use this. This avoid changing the real. Whoa, wait. Everything is broken now. So should I be reverting back to the auth flow that worked first? Just trying to see what else. Now this needs to stay like this. There's no errors in this, but I imagine setup has an error. Then add in the hard-coded bypass. Yes, reverting to that worked version, that's your stable base. Now add a hard-coded auth just for setup to this. Update the constructor to accept an optional token. All right, so now in the constructor, where's the constructor? There's no, oh wait, here we go. There should only be one constructor. All right, and now use this in the setup like this. Wait, what the hell are you doing? Wait. I made the change to the constructor, but I'm still getting the same errors. You need to update both the schema service and the permission service to support either auth service or a API schema service. Schema service. This is the schema. Oh my God, I think I'm going down a really bad rabbit hole. Dude, I don't want this. I hate when you force me into this stupid, oh God, how can I tell it to just, whatever. I hate this canvas feature. It's so bad, and it just like breaks the entire context of everything. All right, so and what I love about ChatGPT is like it doesn't. It's the UI is so inconsistent. Like it doesn't give me the option now to. And there we go. And now it just crashed out. Perfect. I'm glad I paid for this. What is throwing these errors now? All right, here is the permission service. Let's see if it'll actually fix this one too. See, this is the problem that I hate. Is like now it's doing this permission service, but it's still the canvas is still editing this, and I don't want that. I just want it to, whatever. So annoying. I just want to take a inventory real quick of what's going on here behind the hood. Luckily, the schema stuff and this database stuff is all, well, no, that's not true. Permissions set up. Yeah, all right, let's see what it has to say for itself. All right, let's copy this, close out this stupid thing, just come back here, and now we'll go to the permission services, and we're going to paste this in. All right, so let's make sure that this error has gone away, which it hasn't. Wait, where was this error? The schema. It looks like ChatGPT has decided that it's done working for the day. Ugh, come on, really? So bad. All right, let's see now. Replace this line with verify permissions false. What? What are you talking about? Where? What is this icon for? I don't want to open the canvas. Update this part of the get database schema. Inside the get database schema, fine. All right, let's do this. And now we want to change it to this. False const. All right. Oops, I messed up my keyboard layer. Copy like this. Fun, fun, fun. Yes, the code is correct. You add the permission, but fine, 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 fine. So now, do we have any other errors anywhere? Setup. There's still an error here in setup. I'm still getting an error in setup. All right, if I could just get this stuff working before the end of my stream today at 12 or 11:30ish, at least in the next hour, then I'll feel like yes, update this line. I feel like I've accomplished something. Update this line to pass the full config. And update your database service to accept this shape. Where's the constructor? Wait, this broke everything. Hold on a second. Wait, what needs to be modified here? So I wonder if I prompted Lovable differently, if it would be able to figure this out. I mean, this is sort of the problem with all this, is that I need to like go in and dig into the code, and Lovable sort of abstracts a lot of that out. So let's do this, fine. And errors, 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 error, error, error. Now, let's come back here, let's clear this, and now nothing works. Let me get out of this setup for a second. I want to see if this sign out. Why does it automatically log me in? All right, let's do this. We're just going to create a new chat because this is just not what I wanted to do. Let's rename this chat, and we're just going to, this is broken, and we're going to move on to a new chat. I also want to go to this one and see if this will give us a little bit of a better result. So what I need to do here is let's clear this, and we're going to print out all these different files. So we're going to have the database services, we're going to have setup. Let's find this. We're going to copy this, and we're going to, oh, we can just do it right here. Perfect. Oops. Copy, and auth service, why don't we just copy a relative path to. And now, in this file, I'm going to start a new chat and say, all right, I need your help to clean up the authentication logic, whoops, logic in my app. Long story, wait. I need a way for the setup to use the hard-coded admin account, but the main app should use proper auth for each user. This setup page should work like WordPress setup to create the DB, permissions, tables, etc., and then never be used again. All right, let's see what it has to say for itself with this. Oh. All right. And normal auth for the main page, you can separate the logic for each. Apply a special admin account. All right, add a setup flag like setup mode in your database services constructor so it uses the hard-coded admin token. You tell me how to do it. I need you to walk me through in detail, step by step, how to implement this. I think there's got to be some better ways that I should be doing this with ChatGPT. I feel like I've gotten really lazy with my prompting, and what I really need to do is tell it, like, hey, tell me the whole like high-level process, then go piece by piece through that, and then we just do it, because right now I think I'm just giving it way too much leeway to just hallucinate. So modify the constructor. Update the database service constructor to accept a setup flag. So let's go find the database service. And I'm just going to paste this here and see how far we need to go down. I think that was all it needed it to change. Then, next. So what we'll do is I'll have it walk me through each of the changes it wants me to make. Then I'll get all the code back again, pass it in, and just see, hey, is this correct? So now update the setup script to pass the setup mode. So in this service is here. Let's go to setup. And now we want it to pass in this. All right. Now what's next? Next. All right, I'm feeling a little better about this approach. Maybe this is what we needed to do, and just break this down into smaller pieces and use a new chat, because I was talking in that chat for too long. Now, update the authentication method to bypass this setup. Modify the authenticate method. Where is this authenticated? Modify the authenticated method so that setup mode what class is this in? Okay, so now we need to modify, I believe it was this whole block. Wait, no, that can't be right. I think it was just this. No, wait. I don't understand. Can you show me the full code for the auth class? Come on. Ugh, and it's such a rainy and cold day in New York. I just want to like wonder if I just spend the rest of my afternoon playing Colonization. I've been having so much fun going back to that old DOS game. I just feel guilty because there's so many projects I'm trying to get working, and they're all dependent on me to be able to fix this workflow. So if I can't get this to where I can run my own databases, then I'm just always going to be behind each day. And I feel like I'm like way, way, way behind in where I need to be with my projects. Get current users, options, headers, sure. Database services? All right. Let's do this. We're going to sort of re-update this, and does this all look correct now? Yes, everything's correct. Let me know if you need more details. Always need more detail. Why does it do this? That is not working. I'm getting this in the console. Ugh, I really don't want to have to revert all this code from the past 30 minutes. But I feel like I now know what the approach is that I need to do. I just think that I'm hoping that there's something I could salvage here real quick. Seems the issue might be with the API call returning undefined when get current user is called inside the database service. First, we should check if the token that's sent is based on setup mode is correct. Looks like the response from user me is wrapped in a data object. Try updating the get current user. Then when logging, use right, I have that already set up. All right, so let's go back to our app. Let's clear this. Let's go to here. And all right. Database connection. Okay, now I'm seeing, but the setup page is not rendering, and there are no errors. From what I can see, the loading state and other states are being managed, but the DB service itself isn't part of the state. Since I'm initializing the service but not updating any state to hold it, that might be the reason why the setup page isn't rendering correctly. I suspect calling set state for the DB service might. It seems that your UI isn't updating because you're not using the. So in your use effect, after creating the service call. Wait, what did it say? In the use effect. Oh my God. Where? have to go back through and see if maybe like the properties that I've set up are creating it to be, is making it just be stupid. Also keep your answers short unless I specify. Always show me full code and with details on implementation so modifications are clear. All right, insert a call to update the state immediately after creating your service. For example, in your use effect after setDB service. Now, would it kill you to actually show me more code than just this? Like this. That can't be right because it's not working. Yes, that plugin is correct. Now your DB service state and UI should render properly. Wrong. 100% wrong. Let's do this. I want to revert all these changes and start over again. No. Nope. Not working at all. Let's do this. I want to go here. We're going to do clear git status. I am going to print out all of these files. So we're going to have database service setup, schema service, permission service, and then do I have database schema? Let me just clear this and make sure it works correctly. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just backing up all these files because I think I just want to revert the code. So let's do this. We're going to go back and we're going to clear and git reset hard. Oop, git. Oh my God. Cannot type today. Git reset hard, add verification. All right, so let's clear this and let's go back to our app here and take a look. Okay. So this works, and I want to go back to returning the app. I don't know why it continues to automatically log me in, but that's a whole other process. Okay. What we want to do now is, let's go here. I want to rename this, rename back. Oh wait, I don't want to do that. Rename broken changes. All right, let's clear this. And we're going to create a new file. All right, so let's try this again. To where it was working before. So now I want to go step by step through implementing the solution where the setup script uses the hard-coded auth without breaking the existing auth flow, so setup can always create the correct DB setup DB configuration without and have the correct permissions to do so. All right, let's see. This is probably going to be a little bit too much for it, but all right, what do you got for me? Because I'm going to stop at 30 minutes and I want to actually have made some progress instead of just chasing my tail all morning. Update the database services support setup mode. Modify the constructor and authentication method so that when the setup mode is enabled and a token is provided, the service bypasses the normal auth flow. So this is database service. What I actually want to see before I even do this is that we clear this, I come here, and we're back to this permissions garbage. But okay, let's see if it understands enough to fix this, because I can always go back and modify this. So let's see, database services. All right, so now the database service has been updated. Next. Update the setup TSX to initialize database service in the setup mode. After obtaining the hard-coded token, initiate the service with the setup mode true and pass the token. For example, inside your use effect after fetching the token. God, can you... Wait. Can you tell me what file this goes in? Like, why keep this a secret? Like, just tell me what I need to do. That code goes in your setup inside the use effect. Where's the setup? Use effect. Okay. So there's use effect. DB service setup. All right. Okay, where does the token come from? Oh, I am not a fan of the database stuff. The back end is so boring. I just want to do front end development. The token is fetched. No, God. This is the problem. If I could just get past this part. I just want to be telling myself like every day. I mean, Slowly I'm making progress, but this is just a slog. Declare the token before using it. For example, inside your use effect, you can write init db service. All right. $5 says this doesn't work at all. Now I'm getting this error on the page. All right, come on, let's go. Let's see here. Below is an updated version of your schema service that supports both auth service with get token method and plain object. So my schema service, what is the schema service? Here we go. Oh, I hate when it does this. Like it does this like weird thing sometimes where it's like, okay, here you can just use all the old code that you had before, but it's not explicit. So if I just copy this out and paste it in, the whole thing would just break. So let's see. We want to do this all the way up to the create collection. And replace all of this, which of course just breaks everything. We defined a union type called try updating your schema service with this code, then run your setup flow again. No, it broke everything. Now I'm getting lots of code errors. Here is the full code for context. So I think this in the end turns out to be like just a good lesson for me to learn. Like when I'm trying to set up these databases and stuff, I need to be very clear with like Lovable or ChatGPT, like, hey, the setup is a completely separate service from the actual like user who logs in and does something. I'm going to try to see how far I can get with this. What I might wind up doing is I might throw this back into Lovable and see if it can clean up the code for me. Because sometimes with the ChatGPT stuff, when it touches like way too many things that I can't keep track of the context, I just wind up in this like circle here, what we're doing right now. I'm also getting to that point in the morning where I'm getting hungry, so my focus is waning. All right, in schema service, if in auth service, I can cast it like this. All right, below is an updated version of your schema service using a type guard so you can accept either auth service instance or a plain API token. API URL token. All right, that removes some of these problems. Wait, so now, why did it do this? You are passing the... What the hell is it doing here? It's trying to do this twice. Because this won't work as is. I wonder if you do multiple constructors in TypeScript. You need to update the permission service that accepts a union type. Oh yeah, so you can't do that. Auth service is a simple or a simple auth context rather than just auth service. In other words, change its constructor. All right. Wait, no, I need the permission service. This is the problem. All right, so now, did that fix the schema? Great, great. Will this actually do something? Well, it got a little further. Oh shoot, I really I reverted a lot of code that I didn't want to do. Shoot. So I'm back to this crap again. Let me see. I'm going to do one more Hail Mary here, and let's see. I'm actually going to change out of this and go back to 4.0. Okay. I'm getting a lot of errors now. And this was something I had previously fixed. Here is my old code before I reverted to these recent changes. Can you help me fix the setup permissions, and the setup permissions layout? I screwed myself up really royally here. Let's see if ChatGPT can bail me out of this one. I got it. Let's start with fixing the setup flow and permission handling using your layers. Ready for step 1? Yes. Wait. Schema service. And then I needed this type auth. All right. I'm just going to follow this until I realize it's not going to work to what I needed to do, which is going to be pretty soon, and then I'm going to move on. All right, so we need to do this all the way to get API URL, and this is auth context. Auth context. Wait, what are you asking me to do here? Permission service. Permission service. All right, next. Schema service. Use the same auth-like pattern to replace. Oh wait, did I do this? Auth context. Fine. And then here, I want schema service. Didn't we do this already? We did this. Wait, I see here. All right. Yeah, it has me going down. It has me going down next. This is totally, I'm on the wrong path now. Replace the top of the file with this. Permission services. I swear I'm just going around in circles here now. Permission services. Auth like. All right. Next, update the schema service to match how the permission service handles auth like. Change the schema service to why are we going around in circles here? Next, replace this line in the get database schema. Replace this line at the start of the get. That's not right. Verify user permissions. What is this file in? Database services. Oh, shoot. I did one of these things where you know what? Hold on. We're just going to do it this way. Let's just clear this. Let's just do git reset hard. Clear git status. All right, git push. All right, let's just go to Lovable and see what it can do to help here. I know what I need to do now, so I just need to get it to verify permissions, set up permission. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to tell it, all right, first off, I need you to refactor the code so that it doesn't automatically attempt to log in as the admin on the home page. All right, let's have it fix this first, and then we're going to go through step by step and see if it can fix this. Because right now, it's the weird thing is happening, either that or I'm just not able to like log out. Actually, that's weird. This should say permissions. Oh, there we go. Permissions verified, yes. All right, I'll go back and I'll fix that later. But when we return to the app, if I go here and I tell it to log out, it like, when it refreshes, it goes right back in. And I don't know if it's actually letting me log out or not. That might just be a session bug. No. Listen to a little Freebird. All right, I understand you want to modify the code. All right, delete, delete. So good. All right, so now when we come here, it says we're logged in here, but let's go back now to return to app and refresh. Great. All right, I'm going to have it refactor this so that it can make this into some smaller stuff. And I mean, I think this is just, it wasn't a total lost morning. I think the biggest issue for me right now is that I'm just trying to figure out like what the proper workflow is. Like, when do I let Lovable build this thing? When do I defer to ChatGPT? When do I jump in and use my own knowledge? Or when do I, what's the right order for using all three of them? But I still want to believe that using Lovable for bigger refactoring and bigger things that need a lot of context is the key. And I think I need to just go in very granularly and do selective stuff. What I'm trying to avoid outside of like the having to pay for Superbase is I just don't want to have like all of this. I don't want to have to worry about every little change that I make costing me credits in Lovable, and then Lovable itself will go into these like cycles where it just like breaks itself and I can't get it to do what I want. All right, come on, any day now. All right, we're gonna make this refactor, and then the next refactor we're gonna do is I'm gonna have the let's see here. All right, well, I guess we'll have it refactor client. Oh, tell me this completely and utterly crapped out. Why doesn't it see this error? Wait, why is the server, wait, what's going on here? The database still exists. Whatever. All right, I don't. What did it actually change here that broke? Maybe I need to finish this refactor. Let's do one more. Let's see if having it refactor this too will also fix the problem, and if not, I'll ask it, or I'll just revert back to changes previously. This is the problem I'm talking about. Like, then I start having Lovable do things, and then it breaks, and I guess the only way around this is for me just to learn every single programming language, every single backend, and just know everything. My hope to, like, with this vibe coding stuff is that one day I can just get it to where, like, I can flesh out this idea. Like, hey, here's an idea. I don't really know all the pieces of how to make it work. Can you help me wire it up enough to the point of where I can actually do it myself with my knowledge? I'm not there yet. I don't think the tools are there yet either. All right. Cool. I don't see anything anymore. Let me just check this for a second and see if maybe there's a caching issue. All right. This happens from time to time. Let me see if I can just refresh this whole page and force it to reload. Yeah, okay, see, there you go. So now we're getting this database error stuff. Schema setup. Okay. So now it's giving me all this, and I don't know why this is saying that it's database disconnected setup page. Something is wrong here because the database should still be connected. So if I go back here, oh, now it's broken everywhere, huh? Okay, let's go back and we'll just fix this from where we are. All right. I need you to refactor the setup page now to use the hard-coded admin auth for all of the setup verifications and fixes without breaking any of the existing logic for regular users to authenticate. The setup page is just like a WordPress install. You go to it, it runs as an admin, sets up everything or fixes things that are wrong, and you never use it again. All right, I refactored setup page to use hard-coded admin auth for setup operations while preserving the regular user authentication flow. Let me implement this properly. Yeah, you do that properly. I don't think I've set up anything in the accounts. I don't want to, while it's doing this, I don't want to like break anything. I just want to double check here. There's only one administrator, fine, public user, blah, blah, blah. All right, come on, let's just, I'm about to stop the stream so I can go eat lunch. It'd just be great if we can get this to a place where it actually worked. But it's fine. I'll just hack this on my own. The setup page has been refactored to always use the admin authentication for all operations. The changes maintain the existing functionality for regular users while ensuring the setup process is that. And then why does it keep breaking like this? All right, I am getting 403 errors on the setup page because the admin user is not being used to verify all of this. Like, let me clear this, and if I just reset up the database, yeah, this is going to be all kinds of 404 forbidden stuff. Yeah. Also, all these stupid toasts, like, just all over each other. It's weird, because the error messages don't correlate to what is, like, what I'm actually seeing here either. The issue is that we're verifying permissions in the setup page. The request of fetching permissions are received at 404. This happens because the authentication token being used doesn't have sufficient privileges to access. Let's do this by ensuring the admin token is used for permission verification in the permission service. Yeah, that's what I told you to do. All right, this is my last prompt, and then I'm going to go have lunch, and I'll just mess around with this on my own. I don't think this is a fun stream, but maybe this afternoon I might come back and do some streaming for. I just want to play colonization. I think this is the rest of my afternoon. This stuff is just frustrating. Failed to all right. Are there, okay. I am now seeing the permission verified not working, and see this in the console. All right, this is where I call it a day. Thanks everyone for streaming, if anyone did actually join, and I will stream, I guess tomorrow. I have Saturday off. Where's my ending soon? So, all right, let's just do this. We are going to do we'll do Saturday at 9 a.m. and go from there. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully I'll make enough progress on this that I don't have to force everyone to watch me do this, and I can just actually start doing some fun stuff. Maybe tomorrow I'll do some 3D modeling. All right. But anyways, thanks, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow.